What is going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of our Forex Education Calls. Thank you so much for hopping on with us. And of course, as always, if you are watching this via recording, thank you guys so much for hopping on and watching this. So let's get down to business, right? So the last couple of weeks, we have been running through the basics of Forex, right? We have been we're going through this series, kind of walking people hand by hand, showing you what Forex is and eliminating myths and busting false lies all the time. So this week is no different, but this week I'm taking a step back because I realize before I start going too heavy into things, what I want to do is be able to set you guys up. I want to be able to put you guys in a position where you understand everything perfectly, right? So something that I noticed, unfortunately, is just I didn't realize that I didn't cover what exactly is this specific kind of trader, right? So we're going to look at what are the different types of traders today. We're going to really dive into that and kind of just explore and see what's going on and hope that you guys will be able to understand where you're at. If you are getting involved with Forex, where are you at? What are you comfortable with? And then if you have no idea what Forex is at all, this is kind of a good place to start as well. So lots of good things going on. Again, we're going to play another video from our recorded video series that we have, which is now online at learningcurveltp.com. Lots and lots and lots of big stuff is coming down the pipe. Can't wait to share an announcement video with you guys that we are formulating, editing, making sure that it looks good. And we will post that out there for every single person so that you guys understand exactly what we are doing. So without further ado, let me get this started and let's really dive in to this next video. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in at the end and we will go from there.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Logan, and welcome to the next video. Today, we're going to be talking about what kind of trader are you? So, with our schedules and with our lives, there's different kinds of traders within the Forex market, and it's important to kind of know what kind of trader you want to be and what actually fits your schedule so that you can, in your process of learning, be able to more or less fit your way of trading into what you're capable of doing. So let's see what we're going to talk about today. So again, we're just going to talk about the different types of Forex traders that we find within the market, and then go over some pros and cons to these traders. And then we'll go over some options that fit best for you based on your time, and then ultimately give you some pointers on how to determine what kind of trader that you want to be. It's very important that you know what kind of trader that you want to be so that you can start this road of discipline and being very just kind of robotic with your trades. So there's four. We have our day traders. These traders typically will make a decision at the beginning of the day, and by beginning of the day, I mean 5 p.m. EST. That's typically when the markets close, so they look kind of to the next day, see what's going on. So they make their decision at the beginning of the day. They'll make a trade pretty early on, and then they will hold that trade for the rest of the day and see where it takes them. Sometimes, this means that they are really in profit. They're big in profit. And then sometimes that means that they're not so big in profit. So it's kind of a risky thing if you don't know market structure or really anything going on with the markets. It's kind of hard to be a day trader. But typically, we can get to that point quickly once we have a good understanding of the market, right? The next point is scalpers. So scalpers are people who will make a trade very quickly. They only want, a couple pips, so they're in and out of the market, typically within 30 minutes to an hour. It's about how long those last. With that being said, usually their lot sizes, which we talked about before in a previous video, typically their lot sizes will be bigger, and their pip counts will be smaller, as opposed to someone like a day trader who kind of uses smaller lot sizes but has more pips. Okay. Just think of a scalper as somebody who's in and out of the market a lot. They have to make a lot of trades within the market. The next one is a position trader. Okay, so these traders are actually people who will make a trade and then hold on to it for like several weeks. I'm talking like I've seen some position traders who hang on to a trade for months, 2 or 3 months. Typically, you'll find this within some metal, mostly the metals. If you start doing that, you'll find a lot of people with gold or silver or something of that nature. Even some stocks when they trade it on Forex, you'll find a lot of position traders there. Just because once they get their analysis, they can hold that analysis for a while before there's a major change. So just keep that in mind. These traders, they, like I said, they hold it for multiple weeks, so they have to know how the market's going to react and what's going on. Typically, these are your people who have been in the market for a while, and they know how to take advantage of the market. And then next is a swing trader. So these traders are people who hold it for a couple days, and then they wait for a sign. Different swing traders have different ways of knowing when to get out of the market. So, swing traders, they'll enter the market, they'll hold on to it for a couple days, they'll see their sign to leave, and then that's what they do. They hop out of the market, they wait, and then they get back in it, and they hold it for a couple days. Typically, these guys are kind of, they're kind of busy all the time, or they have something else going on, so they're not able to look at the markets all the time. These people typically are, they either have a job or they are looking for another source of income. So they do this, for a couple hours a day, and then they sign off, they make their trade, boom, they leave it for a day or two, they come back and they see where they're at. That's basically kind of what this kind of trader is. So here's some pros and cons to that. So for day traders, like we said, typically they can catch big moves. They don't have to really look at the market a lot once they make the move, because you're only leaving it in there for a day. And at this point, you're not really too concerned whether or not you're in or out of profit. However, if you want to be successful as a day trader, you definitely need to have a correct bias of where the market is going to go. Because like I said, if you don't have that, you're going to be running big profit or big losses throughout the day, and you definitely don't want that. Typically, day traders have lower lot sizes, but they hold them throughout the day. So just kind of keep that in mind as you're wanting to see what kind of trader you want to be. Just keep that in mind for day traders. And then scalpers, the big plus is that these scalpers can make big profits in little amount of time, in a very short amount of time. However, this is definitely the most dangerous kind of trading, because they are not looking at the overall theme of the market. They are looking for 10 pips here, 5 pips here, 20 pips here, 15 pips here, right? So they're not really worried about the overall market. So if you are wrong about where the market is going and you have a big lot size, you're going to lose a lot of money. If you want to be a good scalper, you need to have very tight stop losses because of the bigger lot size that you're using. Just keep that in mind. But, if you're able to really hone in on where the market's going and what it's doing, and you can see where you can enter and get, 15, 20 pips, and you can get out, you can use big lot size, awesome, go for it. when I was first starting out trading, this is what I was. I was a scalper. Wasn't necessarily the best one, but I definitely knew how to get my 10 pips and what times of days I could get those. So just keep that in mind, and just realize that that is definitely the most dangerous kind of trading. Okay, and you have your position traders. So like we said before, they're very knowledgeable about the market because they're able to hold on to those trades for such a long time. They're typically the most profitable because they're not using huge lot sizes. They're using decent sized lot sizes. They know where the market's going and they're holding on to it, and they'll hold on to it for a while. So their profit is just running until they get out. Boom, they get out. And what do you know? So just keep that in mind. It does take a lot of effort to get to that level of knowledge where you're able to just make a trade and hold on to it for several weeks. You have to definitely put in the time in order to be this kind of trader. But when you do that, you don't have to look at the markets every day. You don't have to. If you want to, you can, but you don't have to. And then finally, swing traders. These trades, you can hold them for a while. Typically, they're pretty profitable if you can tell what direction the market's going, or wait for an expansion move, which we'll talk about that in another video. But basically, with these swing traders, they're really counting on a day or two. That's it. They're really counting on a day or two for the market to go their way, hop out, wait for the next move, hop in for the next day or two, hop out. And that's just basically what they do. So, their stop losses are typically a little bit bigger because they do want to give price some breathing room in order to move and then eventually make their way down to what they want it to do. But again, you're not going to be able to risk as much, especially on a smaller account. You're not going to be able to risk as much. So swing traders, it's great if you know how to master it, but it takes some time. It's just pretty much like any of these kinds of traders here. It takes a lot of time to master the craft. So just keep that in mind. This is definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme in any way, shape, or form. All right, and then so what kind of trader fits your schedule, right? So typically traders that hold a trade for an extended period of time, they don't need a lot of time trading, but a lot of their time is devoted to understanding the market, right? So basically, if you want to be one of those traders that holds a trade for a couple weeks, you're going to have to put in a lot of time into understanding how the market works. That means watching videos, getting involved in the trading community, asking questions, talking to people, get on one-on-one calls. There's a lot of things that you got to do in order to understand the market in a more full and complete sense so that you're able to hold on to those trades for a while, right? Scalpers, they're typically in and out of the market very fast. We kind of covered that already. But if you are someone who is not able to spend a lot of time in the market, you're not able to spend a whole lot of time studying, you're not able to spend a whole lot of time really investing in how the market moves and why does it move and how does it move, scalping may be your way to go. You may want to risk kind of smaller lot sizes just to make sure that you're not losing or blowing your account. But typically, kind of press for time, scalping is typically the best way to go, just because, again, you're only going in and getting 10, 15, 20 pips at a time, and then you're leaving, okay? You're not re-entering and re-entering and re-entering and re-entering. You're making a trade, you're waiting a couple hours, you enter a trade again, you wait a couple hours, and you enter the trade again. That's basically what scalping is, okay? And then swing traders and position traders, again, they typically don't look at the markets a lot. So, they have to study how the market, why does it move? When is it going to do this? When is it going to do that? At what point is it going to reverse? There's a lot of things that they have to do in order to understand why the market works. So while their trading time is not a lot, while the time they spend on TradingView, looking at the market and how it's going to move, while that's not a lot, their actual education part is a lot. It's kind of like, our example up top. for people who want to hold an extended trade, you have to know how the market works. Okay. And again, there's a lot of things you can do in order to get yourself to that level, but you have to take the initiative to get it done, to study, so that you can make the right decisions, because you don't want to make the wrong decision and have the market go the total opposite way on you. Okay. And then last but not least, what kind of trader do you want to be? So here's just some things to think about when you're really deciding on what kind of trader that you want to be, that I think are helpful. So first and foremost, you need to be honest with your goals with trading. You need to be honest about what you're trying to do, how much time you have. Anything revolving around trading, you need to be honest with it. You need to be honest about what you want to do with your trading account. Okay, do I want to grow it slowly? Do I want to grow it fast? Do I need money now? Do I need money later? What is my goal? What is the end goal? Okay. The second thing, you need to be honest about the amount of time that you have in order to study. Okay. The major thing about Forex is your study time. Okay. If you spend a lot of time studying, I promise you the markets are going to make sense. But if you're not spending the time to study, then you're not going to understand anything. It's just like going to school, right? I mean, people go to school, they go to college for years. Doctors go to school for 6, 7, 8 years at a time to understand something, to get good at something. It's the same thing with Forex. You don't need 10 years though, but the same thing applies. You have to put in the time to study. If you don't, then how can you expect to get good at anything? That's just like anything in life. Okay. Thirdly, you need to be honest about the amount of time that you have to spend trading. I've met some people who they're like, listen, I have a part-time job, and so, I have from this time to this time to trade. Okay, cool. That's fine. Sit down, either watch some videos or really just involve yourself in the market. Okay, you're going to get on a demo account and just start trading and see how the market moves and what it's moving off of. I mean, literally just experiment and you have to immerse yourself in this. Okay, if you don't do that, you're not going to get good. Fourthly, you need to make a trading plan. Okay, and then you need to base your trading plan off of what kind of trader you want to be. Okay, it would not make sense for me to make a trading plan that revolves around me making a trade, twice a week and holding that trade for the week if I plan on being a scalper. That makes no sense, right? Same thing if I was wanting to maybe trade for a couple hours a day and I only wanted to get, 100 pips a day. Okay. Well, depending on what pair, I may not be able to be, a position trader may not able to get that 100 pips in a day. You may have to resort to scalping in order to get that. So, like I said, make a trading plan, one that works for you, and be honest with yourself, and then formulate that with the kind of trader and the time that you have available, right? And then last but not least, don't be afraid to test out your theories or even your trading styles on your demo account. I know there's a lot of people out there who think that you have to be 100% correct all the time, right? You have to be 100% correct. It's like what we said in the first video. There's no such thing as a perfect trader. So please don't think that you have to be 100% on your demo account. You don't have to be. There's a reason why it's called a demo account and not a live account, okay? So just keep that in mind. None of this is to provoke anyone or any kind of, ill feelings. This is just basically being honest with yourself. You have to be honest with you. And if you can't be honest with you, then how are you going to be honest with yourself in the market? There's no way. You're going to always be compromising. And like I said, you want to be emotionless and be like a robot when you're trading. We went over that kind of in the first video. You want to be emotionless and be like a robot when you're trading. And this is one step of doing that. Coming up with a plan and executing that plan to perfection, and just being able to devote time to this. So that's basically it for this video. I really hope that you guys have gained something from this. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
There it is, guys. That is the episode on what is a trader. And like I said in that video, man, I really hope that you guys take something away from this. I really do. It's something that's on my heart a lot of the times is when people come to me and they want to trade. They tell me what they can't do. And that's fine. I understand. But what I want you to do is tell me what you can do. Okay? So I hope that video helps a lot. I know it broke down a lot of things. If you haven't done so, get a notebook out, write that stuff down, and really go through, evaluate, right? Like we said in the video, be real with yourself, evaluate where you're at, and then go from there. That is the best thing that you can do for yourself when it comes to trading Forex. You have to be real with yourself. If you're not being real with yourself, like we said, you're not going to be real with yourself in the market. And if you're not being real with yourself in the market, that is how you lose money. You will lose it every time. So please, please, please make sure that you guys are being real with yourself. Have a notebook, write down as many notes as you can. It really helps when you do that. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, man. Really appreciate everyone for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.